Good afternoon, I'm Jamie Oloshinsky with your 3:30 sport headlines. A Southampton nurse is preparing for his first MMA fight in December. Mikel Young recently played for the Solent Kestrels and has now moved to MMA. Elle Reid has the story.
Mikel Young is training for his first MMA fight, having changed sports from playing basketball. The fight will take place in Southampton in December.
My friends was like spouting a bunch of nonsense to me. I was like, okay, you want to start doing UFC? Okay. Like, you want to go to the UFC or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, if you're training, then I'll help you and like spar and that. So signed up for a membership, went with him. I guess I just kind of liked it. It was fun. Well, while I was playing basketball, I didn't really like pay too much attention to like diet or like anything like that. I was just eating whatever I wanted really. More cardio. I don't like running, but I've added running and lots of cardio. And yeah, I've actually got like a flushed out program.
Alongside his training, Young is also studying to become a nurse.
Well, I try and balance my work life and like studying with training. Can be hard sometimes, but ideally, and most weeks I do train like 4 days a week.
His first fight will be for charity, and he hopes to be raising funds for Great Ormond Street Hospital.
So I chose the Great Ormond Street Hospital because when I was scrolling through the list of charities on my Just Giving, I didn't really have any particular one I wanted to choose. I think that kids deserve a second chance, and yeah, so I decided to fight for them.
Young now has a taste for the MMA life and is steadfast in committing to it for the future. His charity fight will be a step on the ladder to progressing in the sport.
I'm treating it as a competition because I like to be competitive. I don't plan to go back to basketball. So I think that, you know, sport's a big part of my life, but I don't just like to do it as a hobby. I like to be competitive with it. So I think next year I'm going to focus on trying to get my first amateur fight.
Handball captain Will Gange has returned after 3 weeks out with an Achilles injury. Manager Matthew Gregory is pleased with his comeback. Abby Beatty has more.
Ahead of handball's second game in the Southampton Senior Cup against Coldham Common, the Monks are looking strong in training with their previously injured captain, Matt Casey, returning to play for the full 90 minutes of the match. The Hampshire-based team made changes this year by bringing in new young players to help push the team to win the Senior Cup they came so close to getting their hands on last season. Handball's manager Matthew Gregory spoke about the new Monks and their captain returning to play.
How well did Will Gange do as captain?
Yeah, he done all right, to be fair. It was a bit of a different role for him as well. We put him in the midfield. He normally plays just up front, just probably in the 10 really. But he had to come into midfield for us because of all the injuries we've had, and he done really well. But he obviously picked up a hamstring injury, so he's out for the moment. But yeah, when he come in, he done really well.
How long did it take Matt Casey to come back into full training?
He was out for about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, and he's still struggling a bit now. He was on limited minutes for the last game, but hopefully he can get a full 90 out of him tonight, and to see where he's at after that.
Did Matt work with Jess, the team's physio, on a one-to-one, or did he kind of stick with the team's training?
No, he was with Jess most of the time. Yeah, one-to-one. I think she done the cups with him and everything like that. Done a bit of rehab with him and everything like that. So yeah, she worked with him, and then obviously as soon as she lets him go back in the training, he comes in with us and then trains as normal. Amazing.
And how are the new players settling in with the team training?
Yeah, really well. Yeah, just settled in pretty much quite easily. Yeah, the young lads coming in, I think they're all 17, the new ones that we just brought in. Yeah, they know each other, so it's a bit easy once you know each other, innit?
Last time out against their opposition, Handball walked out successfully with a 3-2 win in the Russell Coates Cup tie, so they were looking for the same story this time around.
Tommy Scott has returned to Eastleigh after signing his first professional contract with the club. Kieran Phillips reports.
Tommy Scott joined Eastleigh Football Club this summer as a goalkeeper, but has failed to break into the first team ahead of Joe McDonald this year.
Obviously, I'm joined the club as a number 2 goalkeeper. Happy to sort of fulfil the role, but you know, obviously, if the chance comes, my personal goal is, if I am called upon, you know, perform well and try and compete for the shirt, hold the shirt number 1 spot. But also push Joe in training and just hope the boys would get up into the playoffs and hopefully go for a promotion and stay here next season.
If Scott wants to remain at Eastleigh alongside McDonald for the future, every performance will matter, so his past is not repeated.
I got released from Yeovil, didn't get offered a contract, then had a trial at Southampton. I signed a 1-year pro. I then got offered another year pro after that, represented Northern Ireland I was on the bench in a Euro qualifier for the 23s. I then got released from there, from Southampton. I went on to trial for Pompey first team. I then quit football for 6 months. I pretty much went to square one, played like non-league for free, didn't get paid or anything. Worked my way up to being number 2 in Weymouth. From Weymouth I left to play at Hamworthy again at 23, and then I joined here in the summer.
Scott has settled in at Eastleigh in his first couple months with help from a familiar coach, Vince Bartram. Bartram is now Eastleigh's goalkeeper coach.
Obviously, so they're coming in summer. I've worked with Vince previously when I was at Southampton, so it was nice to come in where I knew someone. Training's good, to be back in full time. It's hard work, but your body gets used to it. By the end of the season, be playing for something.
AFC Tottenham are through to the next round of the FA Trophy, having beaten Plymouth Parkway by 2-1. Manager Jimmy Ball said they didn't quite maintain their aggression despite the win. Callum Gill reports from the Snow Stadium.
AFC Tottenham advanced to the next round of the FA Trophy. Tottenham beat Plymouth Parkway 2-1 at the Snow Stadium. We got the thoughts of Tottenham manager Jimmy Ball after the game.
I hope we'd be really aggressive and really front foot and really dynamic in our attacking, but the game didn't really pan out like that. It didn't give us opportunities to do that. So I thought for the first sort of 10 minutes we were both feeling each other out. We scored a good goal from our point of view. I'm sure it'd be a poor goal from their point of view. And then it looked like we sort of rested a little bit and didn't maintain the aggression and the attacking impetus, which caused us to sort of sit and play in our own half, which is not really our style. And then second half we changed that and went a lot more aggressive, a lot more front foot, a lot more pressing, a lot more play in the other team's half, and worthy winners in the end, I think. See, they changed after about 15 minutes, which actually made them a bit more solid. They were open to start with. So then we sort of maintained that, allowed them some territory, a bit too much for my liking. But when we changed shape, coming out for the second half was what changed it for me and gave us a lot more control and put bodies in different areas of the field. So it wasn't necessarily a player. I think it was more the change of shape.
Well, were you disappointed to concede right at the end before going in?
I am, yeah, but sometimes in football your centre-half slips, you know, and Magri doesn't slip, it's not a goal, and you just got to live with that. You know, people slip sometimes, you know. I don't think if Mags doesn't slip, they don't score a goal, so it happens, you've got to deal with it.
Tottenham will face Merthyr Town in the next round of the Cup.
And 3 rookies have joined the Solent Redhawks. They will add to the offence, playing at wide receiver, running back and O-line. Dan Watson was at Test Park with the story.
The Solent Redhawks have welcomed 20 new rookies this season, all with hopes of achieving promotion. Offensive lineman Max Fagan had never played American football before joining the Redhawks, but has really settled in since taking up the sport.
Yeah, this is like the first team sport I've played, so it was a real shock, to be thrust into all these new people and this entirely new thing. But yeah, no, the guys here have made it great. I feel like it's not been too long where I feel like I fit already, and that's really good.
Nick Williams, a running back who is currently nursing an injury, although watching on the sidelines, he feels it helps him learn more about his new passion for American football.
I got tackled quite bad with my left leg, and pretty much in the couple of days I didn't rest enough, so on 2 days after I went to track, do some extra sprinting to get that speed working, and then something didn't feel right. Like the kind of hip area just felt a bit off, so taking it easy this this training session, but hopefully I'll be back next training session or first game back, because I'll be able to watch how the tactics work, read the playbook and understand the game a bit more on the mental side, more than the play, and just sit back a little bit and actually analyse it, what I need to do as a running back. And it hasn't been that bad, to say. I do want to play, and I do want to scrimmage, get your hands dirty, but overall it's not terrible.
Wide receiver Finn Putner has really felt at home on the pitch thanks to the welcoming coaches.
Really supportive. He'll do literally anything for anyone. Like, he wants everyone to play. The other coaches are really friendly as well, because they know that it's not the most generalised sport over here, so it's like everyone's pretty much new. So they really take time with you, but they're very mentally pushing you every single week, which is really good.
The Solent Redhawks kick off their first game this season away to Oxford Brooks on Sunday, with all 3 rookies expected to start.
And what does it take to operate a non-league football club? We sent Nathan Rawlings to Winchester to find out.
It's a Saturday, and here at Winchester City FC, the players would normally be playing a game. The stands would normally be full of supporters, and the clubhouse is usually teeming with thirsty locals. However, the ground is barren and the lads are training instead. For barmaid Ali Henderson, who is also the club's welfare officer, it's a quiet day, so we asked her about the impact she has on a match day and how important her job is.
It is important. I think the bar is such an important part about coming to football. You know, you see everybody coming together. It's a place where people meet and have a drink, and I think that's the great thing about our league as well, that you can actually drink whilst you're watching the game. So yeah, I enjoy it. I like getting to know the fans, the home fans, the away fans. Yeah, so it's an important part of the club, and yeah, I love it. It's great.
We also spoke to the head of media at the club, Saj Rahman, who explained his matchday routine and the struggles he sometimes faces.
So on a match day, usually it's about chasing up the team firstly. Usually I get given it a couple hours before kick-off, maybe 3 or 4 hours before, so I can make the match day graphic. So like on a Tuesday, I had to wait right until an hour before kick-off to release the lineups, just because we weren't sure whether some players were going to make it there on time, especially to Merthyr away in the middle of Wales, Tuesday evening game. Stupid scheduling, but what can you do?
Saj also spoke about his responsibilities and roles within the club media.
Sometimes I'm photographing, sometimes I'm on tweet, sometimes on camera duty, sometimes I'm on all of them, but yeah, it's just a matter of doing what's needed, getting it out on the socials, so then the fans who can't make it to the games can still appreciate the game and enjoy it as much as if they were here. So yeah, it's a long day. Usually a match day is very much from about 9 o'clock till about 9 o'clock, so it's a 12-hour shift either end of 9 o'clock if it's a Saturday, but it's all great fun.
Nathan Rawlings, Solent Sport News.
Up the winch!
That's all for now. For more updates, check out our website, Solent Sports News. I've been Jamie Oloshinsky. Bye-bye.